Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the most compelling insights. If you've been watching the world of artificial intelligence, the pace of innovation is it's incredible. But behind every groundbreaking AI model, every smart assistant, there's this foundational layer: infrastructure. We're talking about the companies literally building the digital highways, the data centers powering this whole revolution.
It's absolutely true. I mean, the AI advancements we see, they only happen because of this massive compute power and, well, the specialized infrastructure behind it all. And today we're taking a really close look at two key players right in the middle of this AI infrastructure space. That's NBIS Group, you'll see it as NBIS, and CRWV, ticker CRWV. They just went public. These companies are building the backbone of the AI future, but interestingly, with really different approaches.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our mission today is to really explore the similarities, sure, but also the crucial differences between these two. We're going to compare their growth past and projected future growth, dig into their financials, and ultimately try to assess which one looks like it has a higher probability of strong, sustainable growth over the next, say, 3 years. And just so you know, we're drawing everything straight from the source material you provided. An in-depth, unbiased analysis, that's the goal. Get you informed fast.
Yeah, and what's really striking here is that while, both are vital to the AI ecosystem, their actual strategies and, importantly, their financial health seem worlds apart. So to really get a handle on their potential, let's start by just getting to know each company a bit better.
Sounds like the perfect place to begin. So first up, NBIS Group NV, or NBIS. This is a European AI infrastructure company. You might remember it was originally part of Yandex's international assets, officially rebranded in August 2024. NBIS itself, though, the core entity, founded way back in 1989, so they're not new to tech. Headquartered in Amsterdam, led by Arkady Veloz, the former Yandex CEO. Comes with some serious tech history, right?
Right, a lot of pedigree there. And their core business is, well, it's pretty comprehensive, almost like a full ecosystem.
Yeah.
NBIS describes it as full-stack infrastructure for AI, so not just one thing. It includes large-scale GPU clusters, cloud platforms, developer tools, services, the whole package. But it doesn't stop there. The NBIS Group also holds subsidiaries like Toloka, that's an AI data platform, Triple10, which is an ed tech training, and Evreed, focused on autonomous driving tech.
Okay, so I'm hearing you right. NBIS isn't just selling the picks and shovels for the AI gold rush. They're also offering like prospector training and even building self-driving wagons to haul the gold. That seems like a lot of different things. How does that affect who they're trying to sell to, their target market?
Exactly, it's broad, and their target market reflects that. They're positioning their NVIDIA-backed AI cloud platform for the, quote, global AI industry. They're aiming to serve both the small to medium businesses, the SMBs, and the bigger enterprise AI labs. It really is a wide net they're casting, trying to capture a broad spectrum of AI needs.
All right, now let's contrast that with CoreWeave, Inc., CRWV US-based, AI and cloud computing, founded much more recently, 2017, started out as Atlantic Crypto, actually. Founders Michael Intrater, Brian Venturo, Brandon McBee, Peter Solanke, based in Livingston, New Jersey.
And their core business, much more specialized, really focused. CoreWeave explicitly, quote, specializes in providing cloud-based GPU infrastructure to artificial intelligence developers and enterprises. They've even branded themselves the AI hyperscaler, offering a purpose-built cloud platform specifically designed for accelerated AI training and inference. They're not dabbling. They're laser-focused on GPUs.
Okay, so where NBIS casts that wide net, CoreWeave seems like they have a very specific customer profile in mind. Who are they targeting?
Yeah, very defined. CoreWeave explicitly targets the large enterprises and the top-tier AI research labs. The source material notes their key customers include leading AI labs, major cloud enterprises. So that tells you they're aiming for the high end of the market, the players needing absolutely massive, dedicated GPU power.
Okay, so we've got these distinct blueprints now for NBIS and CoreWeave. When you put them side by side like this, what's the kind of core story emerging about their different strategies in this AI infrastructure race?
It really is almost a tale of two very different paths, isn't it? You've got NBIS, the European player with that broad Yandex heritage, building this full-stack ecosystem, diversifying, right? AI data, ed tech, autonomous driving. It feels like building a whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then there's CoreWeave, the US-based AI hyperscaler going all in, super specialized on GPU cloud infrastructure. That difference in scope and geography, too, it really sets the stage for everything else.
And that naturally leads to that different target market focus we talked about. NBIS, wider net, SMBs and enterprise, CoreWeave, laser focus on big enterprise and the top AI labs, broad ecosystem versus specialized hyperscaling.
Exactly. And, a company's strategy, it always shows up in the numbers, right, and its expansion.
Yeah.
So with those different foundations laid, let's turn to how that's actually played out in the recent financial performance, because that's where you really see these strategies hit the road.
Right, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the last couple of years. Really shows that explosive expansion. NBIS Group went public late 2024. Q4 2024, they reported revenue of $37.9 million, which was a huge 466% jump year over year. And their core AI business, that jumped 602%. Incredible. Full year 2024, Nebius revenue hit $117.5 million. That's up 462% year over year.
That dramatic percentage growth, I mean, yeah, it's from a smaller base, but it really highlights the surge in AI demand they're tapping into. Looking into 2025, Nebius brought in $55.3 million in Q1, still up 385% versus Q1 2024. In Q2 2025, revenue hit $105.1 million. That's an amazing 625% year-over-year increase, and up 106% just from the previous quarter. And crucially, you mentioned this, their core business actually hit positive adjusted EBITDA in Q2 2025. That's a really significant milestone for a growth company, right? Shows the main operation is starting to pay for itself before certain expenses.
Definitely a strong signal. But what about their balance sheet? You hear about growth. You want to know about the foundation. They ended 2024 in a very strong position, $2.45 billion in cash, and basically no interest-bearing debt. Just about $6 million in current debt. Their current ratio is over 9 times. Maybe explain that a bit. What does a current ratio over 9 really mean for them day to day?
It's huge. I mean, they have 9 times more assets they can quickly turn into cash, like cash itself, receivables, than they have debts due within the next year. Think of it like having a massive emergency fund that's 9 times bigger than all your immediate bills combined. It gives them an incredible cushion. They can manage short-term needs, invest, handle surprises without sweating it. It's incredibly robust financially.
Okay, robust. Now let's pivot to CoreWeave. Filed for IPO March 2025, priced at $40 a share, their revenue growth. Even more explosive, and importantly, from a much larger starting point in absolute dollars, they went from $16 million in 2022 to $229 million in 2023. That's about, 1,346% year-over-year growth. Then, 2024, they hit $1.915 billion in revenue, up 737% year-over-year.
Yeah, just to put that into perspective, CoreWeave's 2024 revenue, that $1.9 billion, it's roughly 16 times Nebius's 2024 revenue. So a massive difference in just sheer scale. That AI hyperscaler tag you see in the top line numbers.
Absolutely. The growth is undeniable.
Yeah.
But the balance sheet, especially with that kind of hyper growth, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, this is where the contrast is really stark. As of December 2024, CoreWeave had about $1.36 billion in cash. Sounds okay on its own right. However, they were also carrying approximately $5.46 billion of long-term debt. That's billion with a B, and their current ratio, well below 1, about 0.26. That signals pretty weak short-term liquidity. Basically, they have way more immediate bills coming due than readily available assets to pay them. And maybe even more concerning, the source material points to negative equity, which isn't just an accounting thing. It implies that if they sold off everything they own, they still wouldn't cover all their debts. That's a significant red flag for long-term stability, future fundraising. It's like that mansion built on a huge mortgage. Looks impressive, but financially precarious.
Wow, okay. That paints a very, very different picture. So if we just compare these initial growth and balance sheet numbers, CoreWeave clearly has higher absolute revenues, even more spectacular early percentage growth. They've grabbed a lot of market share fast.
That's right. They are dominating on sheer scale and speed of capture, no question. But Nebius, while coming from a smaller base, has that incredibly strong balance sheet backing its acceleration. All that cash, hardly any debt. That's a key differentiator. Tells you something fundamental about how they're choosing to fuel their growth, doesn't it? CoreWeave, high leverage. Nebius, much more financial caution.
Which brings us right to profitability. Both are unprofitable right now, burning cash to grow fast, which is pretty standard in high-growth tech. For Nebius, their adjusted EBITDA loss was $266.4 million for FY 2024, net loss $396.9 million. But as we noted, that core AI business hit positive adjusted EBITDA in Q2 2025. That's a real turning point operationally. Their FY 2024 gross margin was more modest, though, around 37%.
Right, now compare that to CoreWeave. Their GAAP net losses were much larger in absolute dollars. $31 million loss in 2022, $594 million loss in 2023, and a huge $863 million loss in 2024.
But, and this is important, CoreWeave actually shows much higher gross margins. In 2024, their gross profit was about $1.422 billion on that $1.915 billion sales. That's a strong 74% gross margin. So their core service itself is quite profitable per unit sold. The challenge is their massive overall operating costs and presumably interest expenses eating that up and leading to those big net losses.
Okay, so you've got CoreWeave with high gross margins, but really significant absolute losses on the bottom line. And NBIS, lower gross margin overall, but its core AI business is showing a clearer recent path towards operational profitability, hitting that positive adjusted EBITDA. It's kind of a classic high margin, high burn versus path to profitability story, isn't it? Each with different implications.
Absolutely. And if you connect that to their future outlooks, NBIS management clearly feels confident. They raised their full year 2025 guidance pretty significantly, aiming for $900 million to $1.1 billion in annual recurring revenue. That signals really aggressive expansion plans, likely backed by that strong balance sheet and recent momentum.
And CoreWeave, well, that AI hyperscaler brand and focus on the big players certainly positions them to keep grabbing market share and AI training, chasing the big fish. However, the source material flags a really substantial customer concentration risk. Their largest customer, Microsoft, apparently accounted for a massive 62% of their 2024 revenue. 62%? What does that level of dependence really mean for a company like CoreWeave?
Well, it means huge risk. Huge volatility potential. I mean, imagine building your entire business where almost 2/3 of your income depends on one single client relationship. If that client, even Microsoft, decides to cut back spending, renegotiate terms harder, or worst case, shift some business elsewhere, it could have an absolutely devastating impact on CoreWeave's revenue, their stability, everything. It makes them incredibly vulnerable to the whims or strategic shifts of just one partner. That's precarious.
Yeah, that's a very clear warning sign flashing there. Okay, let's briefly touch valuations. Hot sector, so expect high numbers. Both companies, yeah, very rich valuations by traditional metrics, totally expected given the AI hype and growth. Nebia's trailing PE is meaningless with losses, but the source mentioned a projected PE around 100 as of SEP 2025 data. Very high. Its market cap to revenue multiple around 178 times.
Yeah, 178x sales is steep. And CoreWeave, no meaningful PE either, given those big losses. But its market cap to revenue multiple is roughly 30 times, based on about a $59 billion market cap and that $1.915 billion in sales. So what's interesting is, while both are clearly expensive, NBIS's market cap revenue multiple is significantly higher than CoreWeave's. That suggests investors are baking in even more aggressive future growth expectations into NBIS's stock price relative to its current sales. A higher bar to clear, maybe.
Okay, so this brings us right to the core question of this deep dive. Based on everything we've just discussed, all the material here who seems to have the higher probability of strong growth over the next 3 years. Let's quickly recap using that fundamental scoring from our source material, strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, NBIS first. Scored 26 out of 40. Strengths. That massive liquidity, $2.45 billion cash, negligible debt, huge safety net, strong current ratio, over 9x. Improving core profitability, that adjusted EBITDA turning positive is key. Diversified offerings spreading the risk, and high percentage growth showing momentum. Weaknesses. That very rich valuation, the high market cap sales multiple, expectations are sky high, and, well, smaller absolute revenue compared to CoreWeave right now.
Right, and CoreWeave scored 19 out of 40. Strengths. Undeniable explosive top-line growth, much larger absolute base, huge market capture, and those impressive high gross margins, around 74%. Core operation is efficient, but the weaknesses, they're pretty stark, too. Extremely high leverage, that $5.46 billion in debt, large absolute gap losses draining cash, the huge customer concentration, 62% for Microsoft, is a major risk. Weak short-term liquidity.
And that negative equity, that's alarming.
So putting it all together, synthesizing that probability based on the fundamental scoring in the source, NBIS does come out ahead, primarily due to its robust balance sheet strength and that demonstrated progress towards core profitability in its main AI business. That financial stability just provides a much stronger foundation for sustained growth, especially in a capital-hungry business like AI infrastructure. It gives them options, flexibility, resilience, without that immediate pressure from debt or weak liquidity.
So what does this mean for you, thinking about these two? CoreWeave's growth has been spectacular. They grabbed a huge slice of the pie fast. That's impressive execution. But that heavy debt, the ongoing losses, the customer concentration risk, those introduce serious vulnerabilities, real potential roadblocks. Those could absolutely hinder consistent, strong growth over the next 3 years if the market shifts, if funding dries up, if that key customer relationship changes.
Exactly. So the bottom line seems to be, while both are high growth, definitely speculative plays in this super exciting AI infrastructure market. NBIS appears to have a higher probability of delivering strong and, crucially, sustainable growth over the next 3 years. Its financial resilience and more diversified approach seem to offer a more secure, fundamental footing, balancing that rapid growth with, well, a much stronger foundation, built more for the long haul, perhaps.
That's a powerful distinction and really sums up the different philosophies, doesn't it? So the key takeaway here, NBIS, CRWV, both vital AI infrastructure players, no doubt, but their paths diverge sharply based on financial strategy and risk. NBIS, financial prudence, diversification. CRWV, hypergrowth fueled by leverage, higher risk.
Precisely. And it leaves us and you with a final thought to maybe chew on. In this incredibly fast-moving world of AI, which strategy ultimately wins out? Is it the hypergrowth, high-leverage bet? Or is it the more sustained growth underpinned by that strong balance sheet, which proves more resilient, more rewarding long-term? And, what could this tell us about other high-growth tech sectors facing similar choices between speed and stability?
That is a fantastic question to leave things on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI infrastructure's key players. We really hope you feel more informed and ready to follow these fascinating developments. We'll see you next time on the Deep Dive.